Show. You're welcome to the Maritime and Border Show on 90.3 VOP FM.
All right, as we know, a lot of things played out during the week, and some of them were not quite as good as anyone would want. We like to commiserate with the entire management of the Nigerian Customs Service over the death of one of their officers, and we pray that the good Lord would grant his soul perfect rest.
Amen.
So,
Right.
Dili,
Yeah.
today, like I said, today is going to be an open mic.
It is.
Yes, so today, now we and our listeners
Yeah.
now get today. So, an open mic means that we're going to be looking at the Nigerian Customs, we're going to be looking at the Nigerian Shippers Council, we're going to be looking at the MESA, we're going to be looking at Nigerian Ports Authority, we're going to look at the stakeholders in the maritime industry,
Yeah.
and we're going to be looking at the blue economy as well.
Sure.
I mean, all of it's a full house, But let's go straight to our news.
What made the news in the course of the week?
Yes. CPACT will drive economic growth, deepen continental trade, says CJC Adeniyi. Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, has highlighted that hosting the maiden edition of Customs Partnership for Africa Cooperation in Trade, CPACT, conference in Abuja will accelerate economic growth and strengthen Africa's intracontinental trade. He also observed that the NCS remained committed to fast-tracking Nigeria's full implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, AFTA. The conference, conceived by the NCS in collaboration with the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, will be held from Monday, which is tomorrow, to Wednesday. Briefing journalists at the State House, Abuja, on Friday, Adeniyi said President Bola Tinubu had issued clear directives to deploy trade as a key driver of economic development, job creation, poverty reduction. President Bola Tinubu has made it very clear that his administration intends to use trade to promote economic development and alleviate poverty. Seeing the potentials we have in trade and in the policy trust documents, you will see specific policies that speak to the promotion of Nigeria reestablishing itself as a trade hub, he said. I mean, for us, it's good. It's a good idea. We keep promoting Nigeria. We keep promoting Made in Nigeria. We keep, clapping for government when they do the right thing and chastising them when they do the wrong, things. So we believe that the Nigerian Customs Service has taken the directives, yes, from Mr. President, to use trade as a final destination. But in all of this, we also know that people have been complaining about the high tariff, the high exchange rate. So while you're doing all of this, trying to build a seamless trade facilitation, we think you should also look into the issue of the high duty being paid side by side the high foreign exchange.
Yeah. For me, the takeaway here is the fact that the Nigerian Customs Service is going into cooperation with other customs within the African continent towards the full implementation of the African Free Trade Continental Free Trade Area. That, of course, the agreement came into effect some years back. Fine-tuning every aspect of the cooperation is meant to bring in the full benefits of what ACFA is meant for. So doing this it's a way of, like you said, the government intends to use trade as a tool for job creation and proper engagement of the teeming population, and of course, um, the increase in revenue generation and everything. So it's a nice one.
But before you continue,
Yeah.
if you've observed the CG of Customs, the man just they roll out innovation every day. Every day, you hear one
Thing or the other is happening. Yeah.
But I'm hoping and I'm praying that at the end of the day, these innovations are sustained. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's a very salient point you are making there. It's because it will not be good at the end of the day after rolling out all these innovations and tools. Government comes in and it's discontinued. It wouldn't go well. But my happiness is that most of these are being tested, and when after testing you get to find out, you do an appraisal of the positive effect of the tools that you're introducing, and if it's done well, improved ways of doing business or ways of doing your job, and then adding to the revenue base. I don't think it's any government will be that's not I think any government will come in and say we'll continue with this and then we improve on it. That should be the essence. Because like they say, government is a continuum.
Yeah, but government is supposed to be a continuum, but we know in Nigeria it has not been, and we must say it the way it is. Yes, that's why we have
a whole lot of abandoned projects.
I don't understand why a governor will come in, you abandon the project started by your predecessor, you embark on a new one, and you never get to finish them. So I think that is where we're having problem, and that's why the infrastructure level of this country is not improving at all.
Yeah. Well, let's moving on to some other news items. Customs begin sensitization on vehicle verification system. The Nigerian Customs Service has commenced a nationwide sensitization workshop for auto dealers, stakeholders, and officers on the newly introduced Customs Verification Management Systems. That is the CVMS. An innovation that includes the deployment of a vehicle identification number VIN-check app designed to strengthen verification processes and curb the circulation of smuggled or stolen vehicles in the country. Recall that the service had on October 20, 2025 at its headquarters in Abuja launched a new digital vehicle verification platform. The platform, which was designed to curb vehicle smuggling, enhance transparency, and strengthen accountability in the automobile importation process, was officially unveiled by the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. The initiative is known as the Customs Verification Management System, which is CVMS. The workshop, making the first phase of a nationwide engagement, was held at the Ahmad McAfee Auditorium of the Nigerian Customs Command and Staff College in Gwagwalada. You talked about introduction of new tools and new ways of doing business, especially by the Comptroller General of Customs. Of course, we know about the CVMS, which has been introduced to sort of ensure that vehicles get the proper identification, so that the issue of stolen vehicle and not properly imported vehicles can be a thing of the past. Every vehicle is properly identified, and then wherever there is an abnormal situation, the vehicle can be found out, and then maybe the proper owners given the vehicles if it's stolen or moved from one place to the other. It's a good one. It's a good one.
I think basically, what this stands to stem is the fact that you have vehicles smuggled in through the land borders.
Yeah.
And then, those who smuggle them try to find a way to get
them registered.
you know. So this will come in, but at the same time, this will also help people who are bringing in vehicles. It makes it seem, you know, it's going to make it very seamless, straightforward. You know, you don't need to go through the back corners to get anything done.
And the registration of the vehicles, the identification, everything is going to be is better.
So we give once more, we give kudos to
a very big kudos
Customs,
to
yes.
the Customs Controller General Adewale Adeni.
Eastern Ports upgrade. Mega ship from China docks directly at Onne Port.
Okay.
Efforts by the management of the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA), led by the Managing Director Dr. Abubakar Dansoho, to revamp the country's seaport infrastructure is beginning to yield results, as the Onne multipurpose terminal records another milestone with the maiden call of MSC Dorian V, the first direct vessel from China Far East via MSC Iroko service. This Liberian flagship carrying 5,089 TEUs with length overall LOA of 294 meters, bettered on 9th of November 2025, marking a major boost for Nigeria's Eastern Maritime Corridor and direct trade routes. Managing Director of Onne Multipurpose Terminal, OMT, Nicolo Scavani, said the game-changing direct calls / transit delays cut freight costs, ensure predictable arrivals. The benefits are faster supply chains, lower charges, no transshipment hassles, thereby unlocking jobs, growth, and non-oil trade for South-Southeast regions. Operated by the ICTSI, OMT excels in gearless mega vessels, modern cranes, expanded yards, and technical upgrades. It eases Lagos congestion, accelerates cargo flow, and draws global carriers to Nigeria's strategic eastern gateway. I mean, this is awesome.
It's terrific.
You know, a lot of our callers have been saying, why are they not opening up other seaports? Why are they not opening? So I think this is an answer in the right direction, and I hope that other ports in the southeast, south can also be upgraded to allow them to function, you know, optimally. I mean, for me, this is
wonderful.
Congratulations
having the first
to the
direct
Nigerian
berthing of a vessel from China and the Far East, so at the Onne airport.
Congratulations to the Nigerian Ports Authority.
Very
congratulations to the Nigerian Customs. Congratulations to the Nigerian Shippers Council. I mean, these are all, everybody has worked.
Nigerian Ports Authority.
They have worked
everybody
together
in Imasa,
you know,
making this come true. These are part of the things that this program, this sensitization is trying to bring out. You know, having this operation of the ports so decentralized, so that other ports which are viable can also be made use of, and the cost of movement of goods, shipping of goods will be cheaper. Yes.
I mean, look at it, 5,089
TEU.
89 TEUs.
Yeah.
I mean, this is massive.
It is.
This is massive. Congratulations to congratulations to Nigerians.
Congratulations
to the
Nigerians
government
on this one.
This is what we can want to hear. This is the kind of developmental stride we want to hear.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of listeners today will call in and they will, express their happiness for this particular singular achievement. Now, moving on. Comptroller Joe Anani makes significant impact in anti-smuggling operations at the PTML. That's the Port Terminal Multipurpose Limited Command. Comptroller Joe Anani makes significant impact in anti-smuggling operations at PTML Command. Intercepts 1,000 kilograms of cocaine worth 29.4 billion naira. The Ports and Terminal Multi-Services Limited (PTML) Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted cocaine valued at 29.4 billion naira in an export-bound empty container at the Lagos Seaport. The Customs Area Controller of PTML Command, Comptroller Joe Anani, who announced this during the media briefing on the performance of the command at the command headquarters in Lagos on Tuesday, also added that the interception followed a report from the PTMA terminal operator, who discovered suspicious packages in one of the 39 empty containers meant for export loading. The customs area controller, who commended the PTMA terminal operator for promptly reporting the anomaly, also commended the collaboration between the security agencies in the operation. Meanwhile, he noted that this seizure underscores a high level of cooperation and vigilance among our officers, terminal operators, and sister security agencies. This is also a very commendable one.
I mean,
Cocaine.
it is.
I saw the picture of those seized cocaine. 29.4 billion naira worth of cocaine.
But you know, I'm getting really worried.
My man, I asked the question when I first heard about this. Have we begun the process of processing cocaine in the country to have that large quantity?
1,000 kilograms.
Man. It's scary.
You know, if you look at what's happening out there today, you'll find out the high rate at which our younger ones are becoming drug addicts and all of that. And you ask yourself, for how long will these people continue? Why are some Nigerians so wicked? Why move drugs into the country when you can actually import something that would add benefit to the lives of the people?
I'm scared. I'm scared because, of course, I have young children. I'm sure you do also have. What is our society becoming of? What are people thinking? The quest to make money at all costs, it's ruining a whole lot of lives within this society.
No, I think also, like I keep saying, it also comes down to our political class. Our politicians have, on their own, knowingly or unknowingly, turned the country into money-driven country, driven society, where your worth as a Nigerian is how much you have, and that's why we keep talking about.
Only valued with the amount of money in your pockets,
and that's why we keep talking about multidimensional poverty. We keep talking about hunger, and yes, in the midst of all of this, you see your politicians living large, driving beautiful cars, and apart from living large, driving beautiful cars, they still corruptly embezzle, the one that should filter down to the ordinary Nigerians. So sometimes these things are not, the things that drive it are too many. The things that drive it are too many. And this get-rich-quick syndrome is something, I don't know how we're going to curb it, but we need to be able to curb it.
Yeah, my worry stems more from the fact that these were empty containers that were about to ship to the countries of origin, and they now found this cocaine inside.
I don't think we're producing.
I don't think in the first place.
I don't think we're producing. I think they came in, and then Nigeria is not the final destination.
Okay.
Yes, I think Nigeria is not the final destination. So the whole idea is to, add whatever that is going to be shipped out to that container and then ship it to its final destination. I don't think if Nigeria is the final destination, they should have cleared it. They should have moved it out.
Okay. It probably came with as a groupage, and they took the others and then left that to be moved to the final destination. Okay.
Customs unveils centralized clearance hub to speed up cargo processing at ports. The Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) has introduced a new centralized clearance hub designed to fast-track cargo processing and improve trade efficiency across the nation's busiest seaports. Zonal Coordinator Zone A Assistant Controller General Mohammed Babandede announced this initiative during the official launch of the One Stop Shop OSS system in Apapa, Lagos on Thursday. Positioning as a unified operational center, the OSS is engineered to simplify how customs handles flagged or non-compliant declarations by bringing all relevant units together under one coordinated framework. Babandede said the innovation is expected to reduce average cargo dwell time to about 48 hours, enhance transparency, and strengthen collaboration among agencies working within port corridors. According to him, the platform will work in sync with the existing BOW digital system, offering real-time data sharing, centralized documentation, analytical reporting, and seamless trade interactions through the customs portal. These features, he noted, will significantly reduce demurrage costs and curb the bureaucratic delays that often hinder cargo release. Babandede praised the NCS ICT team for building the platform, calling it a major milestone in the services modernization drive. He, however, emphasized that the success of the OSS would depend on integrity, compliance, and commitment from both customs and personnel and port users. I mean, this is good. This is beautiful. This is a wonderful innovation, and like I keep saying, in all these innovations, let it be human friendly.
Yeah.
Let it be empathic. Let it be something that will not end up, giving people more problems than they envisaged. But for me, this is wonderful. It is good, and I hope that the Nigerian customs will follow it, true and true.
Yeah. Technology is supposed to make things easier and then cheaper in the long run. The introduction of these different platforms and different methods of doing business with the Nigerian Customs Service, I hope in the long run it tends to achieve some of these things, making the clearance of goods cheaper, making it faster, making it more efficient, and improving the efficiency within the maritime sector. And if all these are achieved, well and good. These are the things that we want.
I'm also going to use this opportunity to call out on the zonal coordinator and also the CG, that there should be more stakeholders interaction. You need to put in more energy, more time, more resources in carrying the stakeholders along. Let them understand it, to the letter, and let them, see the workability. Because once they buy into it, it becomes a success. But I think that they need more than one stakeholders meeting.
I think that's the one area that they need to do more in, because when we talk to people sometimes, these are the things that they complain about. They can't be introducing platforms or new ways, new things without carrying along those who are expected to operate on these platforms. They have to educate them. They have to speak with them. They have to have courses, places where they are trained, talk to about these platforms. Well, we still give kudos to them for some of these things that they are introducing in order to make business more easier to do, and then make the operation within the sector more efficient. Now, moving on, NIMASA DG advocates effective port state control for safer shipping. The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Mobirola, has noted that effective port state control (PSC) is one of the most potent tools of ensuring global safety and maintenance of environmental standards in shipping. Dr. Mobirola, who said this at a 5-day regional the trainer workshop on port state control (PSC) for member states of the Abuja Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with the seaport of the International Marine Organization (IMO), further emphasized that the quality of the professionals who implement PSC determines its overall successes. Represented by the Executive Director of Operations, Engineer Fatai Tai Adeyemi, the DG described the workshop as a reflection of Africa's shared commitment to safety. Your presence here demonstrates our collective resolve to strengthen efficient maritime governance, improve safety standards, and enhance environmental protection across West and Central Africa, he said. The DG commended the IMO, the Abuja MOU Secretariat, and all technical partners for their continued support towards capacity building, regional cooperation, and the promotion of maritime safety in Africa. This also, we're talking about, the improvement of operations within the maritime sector in Nigeria. And the workshop was a 5-day workshop here was instituted for people to talk about the impact of the memorandum of understanding and the understanding of the International Maritime Organization, standards. And as we keep saying, it's all good for players within the field to understand the terrain better, and we need more of this.
Yeah, we definitely need more of it because there's nothing as good as having a good workforce, well trained, well equipped, and well remunerated. So I think it's a good one, and I like to specifically say that the DG of NIMASA is doing a lot. Let him keep up the good work. Stakeholders prioritize dock workers' safety as Oyetola commends dock workers' contribution to Nigeria's maritime development. To ensure improved working conditions for Nigerian dock workers, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA, in partnership with the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) and the Nigerian Shippers Council, have hosted the 2025 Day of the Dock Worker in Lagos. Held under the theme Safe Port, Safe Ship, the event sought to bring the importance of safe working conditions and enhanced welfare of Nigerian dock workers to the forefront, while also highlighting government initiatives to improve safety and standards. In his keynote address, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, saluted the incredible work of dock workers, adding that their contribution is at the very core of Nigeria's maritime economy. The Honorable Minister, who was represented by the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Muboriola, observed that today reminds us that our dock workers are vital to creating a maritime industry where safety is assured and productivity increases. As dock workers, you are the first link in the trade chain that fuels our economy and turns the potential of the blue economy into real national growth. I mean, when you remunerate your workers, when you help them to add value to themselves, when you respect them and appreciate them, you get the best out of them. So I believe that this is coming at a time when it's all becoming low in terms of salaries, in terms of expenditures, and the government should do more. It's not just talk, but let there be action, let people be remunerated well, and let people be respected. We need to have this dignity in labor in Nigeria.
Yeah,
it's very, very important.
Yeah, I think a whole lot of people they emphasize at this forum. They emphasize the importance of the Nigerian workers and, of course, the dock workers, who, of course, they described here as the first link in the trade chain that fuels our economy and turns the potential of the blue economy into real national growth. It is. It was a day mapped out to celebrate the dock workers. I learned from the former PG of the Maritime Workers Union the day that previously, some years back, these people were not carried on along in there was no insurance for them. Their job was not pensionable, but the things are getting better now. But they need to do more, according to what he said, government needs to do more, sustain the tempo of the positive change that they are witnessing within the sector, and then do a lot more for the dock workers. It's a commendable one. Moving on. Stakeholders support NACSIMA's effort to eliminate container deposit fees. That's a good one. To drive the smooth implementation of container insurance law, NACSIMA has taken a decisive step by bringing together key stakeholders from the shipping sector, insurance regulators, freight forwarding associations, and the maritime agencies to chart a unified path towards. They are talking about eliminating container deposit fees.
Yes.
I keep asking this question: is that a standard world over, having container deposits?
I think it's a Nigerian thing. I think it's a Nigerian thing, and I think it's because the shipping lines, some of them feel that if this deposit is not held onto,
the containers will not be returned.
They don't, yes, and they don't return them timely.
Okay.
Yes.
But I also learned that in so many cases they try let me not use the word trickish, but that's what is on my mind anyway, to delay the return of these containers. I mean, they do not give these freight forwarders who stand on the part who represent the importers the chance to really return this deposit in order to be able to claim this container deposits.
Well, this is where the Nigerian Shippers Council comes in. This is purely their bit, to liaise with the shipping line to ensure that containers are dropped at the appropriate places. A lot of shipping lines have terminals where you go to drop your containers after this, So, and then sometimes I've heard people complain that when you go, you now have issue of telling you, you can't drop it here, take it to this place, And sometimes transporters themselves are not, they too are not helping matters.
Okay.
So it's but then for me it's a good thing. I think it's something that should be taken up immediately.
Although it says here it's a proposal. I mean, they are proposing that it be cancelled.
It's a proposal, but I think the NACSIMA should work.
But also, let us all be fair. If the problem will it exacerbate the problem of not returning the containers? Will it not? If they remove the
if there's a proper guideline,
okay,
to returning of containers and all of that. You see, the problem is not even the deposit. The problem is that when you return the container, getting that deposit takes a long time.
Okay.
Getting it back.
Well, the point you made about Nigerian Shippers Council is a very salient one. There should be a proper guideline. There should be a proper penalty for people who take after making your import and depositing whatever the content is at the final destination. They should ensure that the empty containers are taken back to the shipping company and terminal operators. If not, there should be penalty for it, but not in this form of saying that you deposit money and there will not be a kind of a trick.
No, I'm not even looking at the trick, because I know that when you say trick, the transporters have a way of dropping containers. They have a way of dropping it. But the problem is that getting back that deposit is not as easy as when you deposit it. You understand?
Why is it so difficult?
And that is where we need to ask.
We have rendered services, and you held down to our money for you anticipated that I may not render that service. You said I should deposit some money. Then I've rendered the service. Why can't you give my money back?
So that's the thing. I mean, that's where
it should be as seamless as paying the money in the first place.
When we open our phone lines, I expect that those who have experienced it, who have gone through the pain, should be able to call in and let us share, them. Tinubu reappoints Buba Marwa as NDLA chairman. Tenure extends till 2030. President Bola Tinubu has renewed the appointment of Mohammed Buba Marwa chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, by another 5 years. A statement issued by Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the President, relayed that Marwa will remain NDLEA boss until 2031. Marwa, a former military governor of Lagos State, was first appointed to the position by ex-President Muhammad Buhari, late, in January 2021, after serving as the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee for the Elimination of Drug Abuse from 2018 to 2020. Commenting on the reappointment, Tinubu urged Marwa not to relent in the fight against illicit drug trafficking and use in the country. Your reappointment is a vote of confidence in your onerous efforts to rid our country of the menace of drug trafficking and drug abuse. I mean, for me, I'm elated, I'm happy. Why? Because you have round pegs and round hole.
Yeah.
Buba Marwa, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, has done beautifully well. He has done awesomely well. He has represented Nigeria well in the fight against drugs.
Retired General Brigadier General Buba Marwa has been one Nigerian. He has always proven himself time and time again in any capacity, in any position that he's given the chance to serve. People still remember him with nostalgia, how he shepherded the state of Lagos when he was a military administrator. They talk about certain things that he introduced then. And since he's been the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, he's been doing wonderfully well. His WADA program, that's War Against Drug Abuse, has been it's been so effective in educating people about the dangers of drug abuse, going to so many places, schools, markets, bringing people's, bringing the dangers of engagement in drug abuse to the knowledge of people. His reappointment is a good one. It's a very good one. It's one of those people I see as very capable hands in Nigeria. In whichever area you put him into, he works.
Yes, I mean, it's wonderful. It's good because honestly, the way it is now, I don't think anybody, if a new person was appointed, would be able to sustain the fight against hard drugs the way he has done.
Yeah. Moving on, CGC highlights Bodogu's transformative impact on Nigeria's trade environment. The Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, has highlighted the transformative impact of the Nigerian Customs Services Bodogu Unified Customs Management System on the country's trade environment. Speaking at the 2025 Annual Conference and Award Ceremony of the Association of Maritime Journalists of Nigeria, AMJON, Adeni noted that Bodogu has significantly improved the efficiency and transparency of customs operations in Nigeria. Adeni stated that Bodogu has reduced clearance times, with some stakeholders completing processes within 4 to 8 hours when documentation is clean and compliant. He attributed this to the system's ability to integrate key processes, including Form M, PAR, single goods declaration, manifests, duty payments, and cargo release into a single web-based platform. The CGC also highlighted the system's improved risk management capabilities, which enable the identification of low-risk and high-risk shipments. This, he said, allows compliant traders to enjoy faster clearance while customs focuses attention when it is truly needed. Adeni acknowledged that the implementation of Bodogu had not been without challenges, including delays in transmitting SUNCAP certificates and intermittent system slowdowns. However, he noted that the NCS had addressed these challenges through continuous upgrades, stakeholder engagement, and ongoing training. The CGC urged maritime journalists to play a crucial role in promoting the understanding and adoption of Beodogu. Yeah, so we're talking about Bodogu here and the positive impact it has had in the goods clearance processes within the Nigerian Customs Service. Of course, most of the command heads have praised it for being so innovative in helping them in their revenue growth and in the process of the efficiency with which they do their clearance. Of course, CGC here acknowledged the initial hiccup, the glitch was caused when it was initially introduced. Of course, we understand that to be the usual difficulty you have in the process of a baby taking its first footsteps. Yeah. So I hope that it continues to get more improvement and become more efficient, especially in the light of the fact that by January the national single window will be introduced, and all agencies that are within the maritime sector will come on board the national single window.
Yeah, this briefing is long overdue. Yes, because there are a lot of questions in the minds of people, and But then I think the BOW has come to stay, and the only thing we can ask government to do is to continue to do more by increasing innovations around that system. All the bottlenecks, they should be able to overcome them, and so that
upgrade.
Yes, so that the free trade we're talking about, the ease of doing business, can actually be achieved. So once more, congratulations to CG Adeni. He has done well, and like I said, I pray for continuity.
Yeah, this is 90.3 FM, the voice of the people, with the Maritime and Border Show, Dili Utomi
and Prince Chilaka. Like we said when we started, today is a free day, as in today we're going to open the phone lines early. We want you to call in, we want to share we want to share your experience, especially in the shipping industry, the maritime industry. We want to know what your problems are, how we can resolve them together. So you can reach us this morning on 0700 903 903 903.
You can also reach us on 0817 175 6338.
Yeah, you can. The 0817 175 6338 is our WhatsApp number. You can also call us from that. You can also send your WhatsApp message and to us. So let's see what we can do. Now let's look at the news items. Tommy, Dili, we, like when we started, we talked about innovations, and the CG of customs seems to be driven by
innovation.
Yes, a lot of innovations, and so we're looking at them. We're asking questions.
Sorry to come into your thoughts. When he came in, he named three things as his major area of focus. He talked about collaboration, consolidation, and innovation, and he has actually done everything along those lines. And like you said, it's quite commendable. The thing is that why they are doing all this, they should continue to carry people along, especially stakeholders.
On a lighter note, somebody was saying that why is it that when the president wanted to extend the lifespan of the IG of police, he extended it to 2031, and now he's extending the lifespan of Buba Marwa to the same time. So everybody's like, are these indications that Mr. President has already won the election, or is there something
that we've not been seeing?
Yes, you know.
Well, like somebody said, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. So we wait and see.
Okay. Also, you know that last week something happened. We didn't want to carry it as news, but we'll just, gloss through it. The how do I call it? Unfortunate incident between the FCT minister and the
young soldier,
young lieutenant. He's a naval officer, Yerima. Okay. You know, and the press briefing by the
minister of the
city. You know, I had thought that all the minister needed to do was to, first and foremost, he didn't. In my own views, the minister didn't act honorably. He didn't act as a minister. He didn't act as a two-time governor of the state. Why am I saying this? You know, you're attacking a messenger and you're leaving the message. So I had thought that the ideal thing for the minister to have done was to, engage the real owner of the property, rather than engaging the security man or the security personnel that's in place to guard it. I have seen quite a number of people take position, criticizing the young soldier and trying to drag Mr. President into it by saying that the guy's disobedience to Wiki was a disobedience to Mr. President. And I said, no, respect is reciprocal. You don't give what you don't have.
Well, you see, a lot of people don't really understand things the way from the right perspective. Now look at things. These are two government subjects. One is civil, one is military. Wike is the minister of the FCT. The young man, Lieutenant Yerima, it's a government worker in uniform. I think, and they are working for the same government. This thing could have been, this hullabaloo about the altercation shouldn't have arisen if one person had been the adult that he's supposed to be. I wouldn't mention names. Because in the first place, I don't think he should have been there. It's something that a phone call would have resolved. Mr. So-and-so or Vice Admiral so-and-so, I know you own this property. Could you come over and regularize your papers? Or how do we resolve this issue? Over a phone call. You do not, maybe because the character in question is so much in love with being in the eyes of the public, with being noticed all the time. You want to be heard of, you want to be talked about. Take yourself to a place, physically going there, which was not necessary. And you got there and you created a scene. And you referred to the press briefing. He was denying calling the young man a fool.
I mean, that was
blatant.
It was an embarrassment. I would say that those who are handling Mr. Wicked, the media handlers,
they are not doing any good. Or maybe they are doing their best, but it's not taking in those suggestions, the advice.
So why have them? Why keep them? Because you can't. Something that has trended and you have seen it yourself.
Millions of people have seen it over
and then
time
and then you are coming out to say you never said it. I mean,
God. You are doubling up.
It simply shows, for me, like I said to somebody now, it simply shows that some of our politicians.
It boils down to credibility issues.
Exactly. So when you, as it is today in Nigeria, there is what we call trust deficit between the government and the people. Yeah. And unfortunately, those in government have continued to emphasize on it to make the people feel that they have no stake, in whatever is happening, which is, totally wrong. I feel that it's a simple thing that Wike would have just tendered an apology and ended the matter. Yeah. But now, no, the social media is a buzz.
He needed to have the last word on it, and he went on to spoil the matter the more. Because when you go on air and lie about what everybody knew you said, that you never said it puts you in very bad light with the people. No.
All right. I'm also aware that a custom officer was killed, died during the course of the last week, and it brings to question the kind of security. Even though the ordinary Nigerians don't have any security, but we need to begin to talk about security and insurance of those who wear uniform. What kind of insurance do we have for them in situations where they die in the line of duty? But I think I have my first caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, I lost him.
Yeah,
please call back.
It's quite unfortunate what happened, and that question you raised is maybe something we'll do a little bit of investigation into a little bit more to know what's the level of if there's any insurance or uniformed people, and what's the package like? Is it something that's sustainable? Is it something that is good enough to take care of maybe the person?
Hello, good afternoon.
When there's injury,
or
in case of death.
I don't know why we keep losing these callers. I mean, today that the phone line has been opened so early, we're losing them. But we hope the system engineers are working on it so that.
Please keep dialing, keep calling in. We will be glad to hear from you, listeners.
Send your messages if you want to.
Yeah.
Well, today, now get today. Now audience get today.
Yeah.
So let us.
Calls being cut.
Let us.
But please keep trying, please.
Let us keep. Now, there's another story that has been making the rounds, and that's the story of bankers who are meant to protect your funds in the banking system, now being the ones to make you go through hell and regret putting your money in the bank. I hear that there's an Access Bank staff that has also been fingered, in diverting customers' funds. So
there's a call.
There's another. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, Chilaka.
Good afternoon, sir. You're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is Chief Joseph.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Go ahead, sir.
And your colleague, good afternoon.
My name is
Dili Utomi.
Dili Utomi.
Yeah, Dili, D-I-L-I, Utomi.
Okay, Dili Utomi. Okay. I've heard you talking about relational ideology or something like that when the custom controller general was talking about the benefit of a baby. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. What?
Okay. Well, innovative ideology is like at this part of the world, we just experiment without putting it beforehand in our drawing board. Because planning is something that takes a lot of, without saying, sense of reality. Because when you put up something that is innovative, beforehand you look at how does it benefit you who want to implement ideology. and that is number one. You mentioned again the trucks carry empty container to go home and return them. Sometimes they divide them, go the other side, and demurrage is accruing on the expense of the importer. So, Chilaka, I think this program is a program that's supposed to, give government a kind of think tank, because people are calling in order to say what they pass through in the economic, would I say, exercise. You see, when you import, these people you deposit. For them to receive your container becomes another problem, and then you see the deposit will just swing away, and there is no way to say they are paying you for their own error of not taking back their container. So this is where our government.
Hold on, sir. Like I said, today is interactive. I'm gonna engage you now. If you say that they refuse to take back their container, can you be more emphatic on that? Why would they refuse to take their container? I mean, I believe that all the shipping lines in Nigeria, they have terminals outside the port where these containers are meant to be dropped. Are you saying that those terminals are the ones who refuses to accept, or there is some form of documentation that's making it impossible for these containers to be received?
Even the transporters themselves, they find it difficult to take most of the containers because of this very issue they have just raised, receiving the container back. You see, it becomes a problem. Sometimes you see them carrying empty containers, you see them along the road, they are lining up. They don't even have any direction from the owners of this container. Sometimes they tell them go so place and drop. By the time they get there, it becomes another diversion for them to wait for signal to come where they go and drop it. So if you look at it critically, Chilaka, it's a complexion of we not knowing what to do because we just feel things are going the way, because those who are being paid, they are there, the customs, the shipping company workers, nothing concerns them. But the people that are having this brunt are you and I, the importers, the customs agents, and the ordinary man on the street, because all these are piling up for the cost. Make an inquiry critically. You see that this thing has been a long-standing thing that these shipping companies, they write off all the money they have deposited. So we are talking about innovation, we are talking about ease of doing business. Our government is not concerned. I'm telling you this, they are not concerned. They are only there, make appointments, look at the money that they can get from the ministers and whoever that is their cronies, and they go away. Even innovation is something to do about the development and progression of a country that is serious. They will have done something that there will be accessibility to the port. The roads must be there. Where to drop containers to be there. The shipping council will come in to tell you, once you load and you are to return the container, they say go to other places. Make sure you go somewhere and drop it. When they want to take it, they are supposed to pay you, the importer, whatever they do the last from their own side. But nobody is talking about this area, and we are talking about innovative ideas. So it is really hollow. When a government cannot take care of a citizen, we're only talking about politics that does not pay anybody any good, and that's all we are doing. The other areas of the economy, we are supposed to look at critically, bring experts, make sure that we do something that we ease our losses. Nobody is doing that. So it's a big subject.
All right.
Thank you, Chilaka.
Thank you, sir. Dili, this is a very serious indictment on the shipping lines, that they refuse to take back their containers, or they make it difficult, like you said earlier.
I referred to it as because I've heard this.
That they make it difficult for the transporters to return their boxes. I mean, the Nigerian Shippers Council should come into this. They should look into it. Try to alleviate the losses of those who are doing business in this country. Like the man rightly said, it's not just about innovative ideas, it's also about protecting the interest of those who are doing business. If you have innovative ideas and the people are not protected, and the people feel that no matter what they do, they stand to lose, nobody would take the innovation seriously.
Yeah, in the course of doing this program, people meet you sometimes. They call you personally to tell you, Dili, this is what I experienced with this shipping company. This is what happened. This is what happened. Somebody told me that they had to cough out about, I think about almost about 80,000 naira or so thereabout. I lost 15,000 naira per day for container deposits. Why? Because of what this man just said. Attempt to return the container proved extremely difficult because the shipping companies did not make it easy for him to return that the container. So it becomes a case of we have your money, we hold on to it. While temporarily hold on to our container until the money is exhausted, then we cannot collect the container.
No, for me, this is more like the shipping lines ripping off the Nigerian people.
Exactly.
And those who are meant to regulate that particular industry or that particular sector seem to be sleeping, because if Nigerians have to suffer for something they did not bargain for something that is not their fault, and everybody's happy and don't care about it, it doesn't speak well. So I am going to use this opportunity to call up on the Nigerian Shippers Council. I know this is their direct brief. Please see what you can do to help alleviate the losses of Nigerians who are doing business, and this losses is not because they don't want to return the boxes, but because, like they claim, the shipping line is making it difficult for them to return the boxes. I mean, let's say a 20-feet container is not something you can just pick with your hands.
Of course not.
Even though it's empty, you can't pick it. So let them do something. Let us begin to have good news that complements all these innovations.
Exactly.
Let us have good news. I'm also going to call on the CG of Customs, because until the container is returned,
the business has not been concluded.
Yes.
Of course not.
So no matter the innovations that the CG puts forward, if the tail end is not taken care of, those innovations will suffer.
The movement both ways must be completed. Before that, it's until that is done, it's still, the business is still on, and so effort should be made to return these containers, and effort should also be made to make it easier for these people to take the containers to where they are supposed to go to, and then retrieve their money, the deposit they made for the containers. It's not good talking about this all the time, and Nigerians are bearing the brunt of some inefficiencies, some manipulations by some certain powers.
No. I mean,
exploitation of the.
Dili, let us say it the way it is. This is a call out on shipping lines operating in Nigeria. You cannot make it difficult for Nigerians to exercise their rights to do good business in the country. We need to tell the shipping lines that they need to, up their game. They need to deal with Nigerians with sincerity of purpose, because we've had so many people complain about the issues they're having with the shipping lines. I remember the complaint we had when Biodogu was having glitches.
Yeah.
And people kept complaining that these glitches were not caused by us. Yeah, the shipping lines will still ask you to pay demurrage. The terminal and owners will ask you to pay demurrage. So there must be a way to curb this so that the ease of doing business will be achieved.
Yeah.
This is still VOP 90.3 FM, and
this is the Maritime and Border Show with
Francis Prince Chilaka
and Dili Utomi.
0700 903 903 903.
And WhatsApp line and calling line and chat line is 0817 175 6338.
Like we said, today is open mic. We're not going to be interviewing anybody. We're just going to be discussing the issue.
Yeah, it's a day for you, the listeners, the contributors to this program, to call in, send your messages. We have enough time for you to air your views. State what concerns you within the maritime sector, so that millions of people, Nigerians, can hear it and then provide solutions as to the way forward. Let's have your calls in, please.
Yeah, and while we still talk about this menace of drug, it appears that on a daily basis, the Nigerian custom, working in collaboration with other agencies, keep unraveling and keep arresting people who are moving drugs into the country. And I keep asking, is it because we do not have a stiffer punishment
laws against drug imports?
Because it's the menace is becoming something else, and it is not speaking well, not just for the country, but for the fact that our children are now beginning to become junkies. They're getting hooked to hard drugs at very early age.
I used to think while growing up in Lagos here that drugs, all these drugs are things, the worries of rich people. So in my innocent mind, I thought that was what it is. Since it's expensive, people who are not very rich cannot afford them. So it's just for people who have too much money. But it's nothing can be less true. It's everybody's business these days. The rich, the poor, the middle class, everybody see people abusing drugs. It's become a very big menace. And more concerted efforts need to be put in to tame this the importation and the spread, the smuggling in of these drugs and the use. At the extreme and the other end of the usage, we said while we were reading the news, the things that made the news in the week, we talked about, we commended the elongation of.
Hello, good afternoon.
My name is Robert. I greet your partner. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robert.
Yes, I cannot really hear you guys clearly, but I hope you are listening to me. So
we can hear you.
Today it's open mic, so I think I can use the opportunity to ventilate some of my views on the maritime sector.
Go ahead, sir.
I told you that I work around the port for almost 2 decades, so I can say I know almost what is going on around the area. I think the president just renewed the appointment of the new DG of NAFTAC. I think that's Bubama. Or was it yesterday or Friday?
That's National Drug Law Enforcement Agency
to those drug dealers. Now, Oga Chilaka, where I want that NDLA to focus. When you talk of drug, it's not just only drug are moving to the country through various ways. For example, now, sugar that they import from abroad come to the port, the waterways. So, like if cocaine is hidden inside sugar, how do NDLA detect it? Though I do see some of them at the port go around, but how would they detect it? Because the sugar, if you have seen sugar before, sir, the
the raw form before they will refine it to the one we consume. If drug and other illicit items are hidden there, how would they detect it? So I think it would be better or be advisable for the NDLA team and other security agencies to focus on that area. I know that most time these things they come in through information, but there are a lot of things that will come in without information. So that's just my contribution, sir. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Robert. Can I weigh in a little bit into that?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you know, I think the sugar and the drugs you talk about, let's say cocaine, for example, I think they have different texture, different odor, different the chemical composition. These people, the NDLA people, have been specially trained. They have their equipment to test. They have sniffer dogs they use in sniffing out these things. They have different kinds of things apart from their personal training to find out what is what. I will keep referring to what I saw some weeks back about what they call the hashish oil. Drugs worth billions being miniaturized. I mean, they squeezed it, they transformed it into oil, put in a jar, and that one jar that they showed us at the news briefing was worth billions, about 2.5 billion naira. You know, these people keep finding new ways of bringing in these things, but that thing, what this hashish oil is sort of a concentrate for these drugs. With that little one, they can use it to make drugs worth billions of naira. You know, that's hard drugs. So as they are getting smarter, the drugs enforcement agency people too are getting wiser in the way it's become the case of the Gino Achebe's story where he says that since the bird has learned to fly without perching, the hunter has also learned to shoot without missing. That's the case what we're having now between the drug importers, the drug lords, and the government agencies. That's the NAFDAC, NDLA people who are chasing after them and then trying to get these drugs off the streets to prevent the breakdown of public health.
Yeah, I'm also talking about this drug menace. I think in the course of last week, Tinkano Island Customs handed over 605.5 grams of methamphetamine molly worth 2.5 billion to NDLEA.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know how we're gonna what we're gonna do to be able to tame this. It's like these people bringing in these hard drugs are not relenting. Like they keep saying, it's a cartel.
They're not actually relenting. You know, in every society, why some people are willing to obey the law and do the right thing for the society to move forward, a few others are busy looking for loopholes within that law, you know, or looking for ways to circumvent the laws and then, you know, put the rest of us into danger. And this is where the law enforcement agencies, the different agencies meant by government to take care of some of these things, have to redouble their act and then continue to train their personnel in detecting some of these things and then isolating them and then treating them the way they should be treated.
All right, so we move on. Good. I noticed that the Nigerian Customs has been doing a lot of CSR.
Yes, of course, you know that they have a customs case.
Yes,
because they do also have a controller in charge of that.
You know, but then the question people have been asking is, where are they generating the revenue for their CSR from? What
happens is this: the custom case program is funded partly by, of course, what the customs and stakeholders. You understand what I'm saying? Because I've attended one or two of them where they donated certain things, maybe renovation of schools and everything. The bulk of what they do is funded by stakeholders within the maritime sector. They write to some of these people, we want to do CSR at this particular place, we need to renovate these schools, we need to provide pipe-borne water, we need to renovate this clinic and equip them with all the medical aids and the pharmaceutical that they need. Why don't you come to our aid? Let's partner. And then they provide the funds, and then the custom cares people take care.
Yeah, why this question has come up is because it's good you're giving this clarification, but then a lot of people are asking.
I actually also from my own interaction, journalists can be inquisitive. We find out the thing is, as they are doing this, the customs also tries as much as possible to spread these things along geographical lines. You know that even though most of government customs revenue are generated within the Western Zone, about 60% of custom commands are within the Western Zone, but about 70% of all their revenue comes from the Western Zone. Of course, for obvious reasons, most of the maritime activities take place within the Lagos and the Western Zone. So it fits into what people have been complaining about. Why don't you make the ports in other places more viable? Thank God for one of the first news we read this morning. We are receiving its first ship directly from China. And more are going to come in as time goes on, because so long as people are crying out, asking that question, government will be in a better position to do something about it, because it doesn't make any sense now where you put your eggs in one basket. The lady that came in, the freight forwarder, the lady that came
last week,
she was comparing the number of ports we have in Nigeria with that of India. Why we have 6 here operational ports, but in reality just about 2 or 3 are doing
just working. We talk about Apapa, we talk about
Lekki, and then Tinkan. Those are the ones that are doing the major work. India has about 16 major ports and about 200 and something minor ports. You have smaller countries having about 20.
Yes.
So why can't Nigeria? At least let's have up to the 6 that we say we have. Let it just use them optimally, and then have some new ones.
So that this whole idea of congestion in Lagos would end.
Yeah, the pressure being put on Lagos, as Lagos is the smallest state in the country, though it has the highest number of the highest population within the country, but the pressure on the roads, the pressure on real estate, the pressure on virtually everything, it's unthinkable. Once you decentralize the operations of the ports, make the Port Harcourt ports, the 2 ports in Port Harcourt, more viable, the ones in Delta, make them more viable, make the ones in Cross River more viable, and then the state governments that are trying to put up deep sea ports in Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa, they should be more serious about it all.
No, but let's digress a bit. Talking about the one in Akwa Ibom,
they started this deep sea port thing.
Yes,
it was the original idea.
The governor, when he was decamping from PDP to APC, he said
the present governor.
Yes, no. He said that the reason why he was decamping was to ensure that the
deep sea port becomes a reality.
So, and since he did that decamping, we've not had anything. We've not. Nobody's given us any brief as to, has he achieved the aims of his decamping, because if you notice, everybody who decamps from their party to APC, they tell you that they want to get closer
to the center.
So I keep asking, is it that there's special?
Why we are here preaching decentralization?
They are going to, So I keep asking, is there something special that the center is giving out that is different from what they are getting from FARC. So let us know, because it's important we know these things, so that when people begin to give excuses for not performing, we know where to hold them and checkmate them. You know, during the last week, the customs intercepted 108,775 liters of petrol PMS on Adamawa waterways. The Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted a large consignment of premium motor spirit PMS being smuggled through the river Benue into the Republic of Cameroon, marking one of the biggest anti-fuel smuggling operations recorded in Adamawa State in recent months. I mean, nothing will ever go smuggle for this country. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Chilaka, it's me, Chief Joseph. I'll call back again.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Yeah. Your partner mentioned something about the centralization of the port.
Yes.
In order to make sure that all these bottlenecks we are experiencing will be, at least, decentralized too. Because the problem we are facing is that the development of the country by our hijacked leaders, they don't take it into account. They are oblivious of whatever we are saying, and it has become a kind of everybody do his own way we can do it. If the ports are really decentralized and the government knows that development of the country, the port plays important role. There are ports all over the other regions which will ease the issue of both import and export. People will have the feeling that they belong to a country that is trying to make progress. But the politics attached to it is the heartbreaking thing. I don't know what we want to get out of it.
Okay.
Centralizing things, making it impossible for other people to develop. What is the gain? We need to ask them this question. When the ports are subsidizing, because the freight to those areas, deliberately they made it higher than what it takes to come to Lagos. If the government has the city area at heart, these are part of the things government subsidize. Make sure that people from that region going to other, how do you call it, voucher, they have an access to the link to Calabar, to Port Harcourt. But they are very so impossible. So there is a lot to it. The port business is not just something we are talking about the radio. The government is oblivious. They only believe in Abuja going there to share their money. No. Let them make people live better. Let this port issue, the employment the port offer is higher than any other industry. So I am begging them, if they can listen, let them decentralize the port. Let the ports of the other regions become viable so that we can have easy of doing business. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Dili, go on.
Yeah, I also want to weigh in a little bit here. A few weeks ago, when somebody was talking about, just like this caller now talked about making the other ports work, we also need to hold governors accountable and make them to think towards going into partnership with these private investors to build ports and make those ones within their area to be more viable, because to a large extent we are operating a system that allows you to do certain things, certain businesses. The port of Lekki is jointly owned by the federal government, the state government, Lagos state government, and of course a consortium of business owners, even though the government have a minority shares there. the other state government, the Delta state government, the Bayelsa state government, the River state government, the Ondo state government, the Akwa Ibom state government, the Cross River state government, they do not even necessarily need to build ports individually by these states. All of them can come together and say, okay, let's look at Warri, or let's look at any of the riverine cities, and let's pull resources together and build one very big deep sea port in those areas, and we have shares in it, and it becomes another viable port for them to get revenue from.
Yeah, I mean,
what can they think along that line?
Well, I don't think that they're not thinking. I just think that everything boils down to having the political will to do it. Because while we say we want to move the economy towards trade and for sustenance, we should also be thinking of how to make it easy for people to get involved in it. Because if we don't do that, then everything like everything you say about facilitation of trade and all of that, it's just it's going to become a mirage. Nothing is going to happen. And there's something we missed out. There's this Kupe news that we heard, which we thought initially was a rumor, but it is the truth. It says federal government suspend 15% fuel import duty. You heard it?
Say that again.
The federal government has suspended the 15% fuel import duty. In the course of the week before.
Yeah.
Yes, we heard that the federal government was planning to introduce 15% duty on imported petrol. But I hear that the government has
backtracked on that.
Yeah. I don't know.
What was their aim first in what was the explanation?
I think government is looking for money now. The government is looking for money, so taxation is a way to look for the money.
Yeah, of course. We also know that taxation, or if you put a tariff on foreign goods or foreign imports, it also makes it more difficult for you to import that thing. And that is usually done when you have the local producers producing more than you need, or producing near enough of what you need. So, are we saying that Dangote is producing enough for the country? Because if you're talking about
the argument against it was that people were saying Nigeria is broke. Nigeria is broke. We all know that Nigeria is broke, and people were saying that in a country that is broke, you now impose import duty, which the government was saying that it was part of their reforms. It was part of the. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Chilaka.
Afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
This one, Stikan Baka, great the boy is good. Calling from Moshid.
You're welcome, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I don't know how possible it will be if they are making a good recommendation for this country, but people that lead us in seat and power can't be possible. Just like telling Nigeria to be the way from here to east is impossible. You remember why the former governor of Lagos State was removed? Because they find that the work was so congested. The power in seats removed immediately like a thief. Now, how do you expect to elect another wolf while the power is still in power? Assuming if another president or another ex-man or another somebody entirely, I believe it to be possible. But as far as they people in power and by Oga, above Oga, it's impossible. I wish Nigeria good luck. The boy is calling for most of it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Well, you also you listened to us at the beginning of this program where we read the news about the use of One Airport for the landing of China.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Your name, please, and where you're
calling from. And you are
my colleague.
your brother there. Your brother there and my brother.
Dili Utomi is my name.
Okay, my name is Obinna.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Edibo.
Go ahead, sir.
I want to talk about, there is, sometimes you people talk about drugs. Please, you know, drugs is one of the things that giving us a very bad image in this country, because all these terrorists and cultists, they are using drugs. The drugs is damaging most of our children. I commend Mr. President to extend the tenure of Buba Marwa, because Buba Marwa knows the work very well, and we commend him. Buba Marwa is working against drugs very, very well. We commend the president, because Nigeria, if you do the good one, we will commend you. So now, please and please, let all those people NDLA work for drugs, against drugs, because it's causing a lot of havoc. And I'm living in the street. We know the damages it's causing among the children, little children. You see some, when they take that drug, they will jumping inside and dirty water, just doing like dog. So please, let Nigerians, everybody put hands on the deck against drugs. That's the reason why when our president released those drugs, everybody was kicking against it. For me, I don't want even a pin of drugs, a pinch of it. Let them fight it to the last. Thank you.
Okay. It's a good one. I mean,
That aligns with what we are saying here.
Yes. Because honestly speaking, in as much as we try to blame the government for the drugs, we should also blame the people. Who are these importers? They are Nigerians.
Yeah.
And why are they importing these drugs? Because they see it as a lucrative business, a business where they can make all the money they want in one night. So, but like you said, NDLEA, police, DSS, customs, everybody, this is a clarion call. Yeah. We need to work together to stem the tide of drug abuse in our society. So okay, I was talking about the 15% tax that has been stopped by the federal government, and I was saying that when the federal government talked about it, they said it was part of their reformist agenda. But people came out and said your reforming agenda, in the face of hunger, in the face of poverty, you're now adding more, to our pains. That didn't make sense at all. And I'm happy Mr. President heard the voice of Nigerians and immediately did the needful by suspending it. So let us hope that the suspense would be to the advantage of Nigerians. And like Nigerians are asking, they say, make I ask Mr. President, say, where are the savings from the subsidies gone?
If you ask me.
Now who I go ask? No, but on the more serious note, we need to know, because see, each time the last few months we keep hearing the Accountant General of the Federation, we keep hearing the Minister of Finance, we keep hearing, go and hold your governors accountable. And then you ask, how do you hold governors accountable? Governors who have become more like demigods. When I say demigods, that's why a governor can wake up and abandon the party that brought
him to power
and join another party and still retain that seat. So how do you hold such a person accountable? Because by doing that, the governor has already told the people that, see, sovereignty does not belong to you. Sovereignty belongs to me. So when you say hold them accountable, the only way we can hold our leaders accountable, especially those in government, is by ensuring that when you do certain things, you don't get away with it.
Besides, the governor is asking us to hold accountable. They are in the same party. People, is it the ones that are already there or the ones that are crossing over to their own side? Besides that, are the governors the one in charge of the general policies that make the economy work? Of course not. Of course there are certain policies and programs and things that they can do to help the economy grow. But ultimately, the federal government is one that makes the decision about where to task, what to come into this country, which their policy affects whatever everybody does in this country. So it's like one shaking his responsibility, asking us to go and hold the governors accountable. Is it just by just going to borrow money and then sharing amongst the 3 tiers of government? It goes beyond that. Yes, we should hold our governors accountable. But what about you, the people at the center, the federal government?
Okay, so we're still talking about drugs, and the reason why we're talking about drugs is, other than the fact that Brigadier General Mubamadu has been given another 5 years tenure extension, how do you make of the banter going on between your sitting senators Ned Nwoko and the wife Regina Daniels? Because we hear Ned has come out to accuse the wife of being a drug addict, and that she's using drugs. He has also gone ahead and mentioned names of few persons he knows that he allegedly claims supplies her with these drugs. So with the way things are, why is it that the NDLEA has not stepped in?
See, this is a case of somebody using the drug. Not, I think NDLEA will step in when it comes to maybe.
No, but what I'm saying is that
the seller.
No, Ned Walker has mentioned names of people who bring the drugs to her. He has mentioned names. So why is it that those names or those people that are mentioned are not being arrested?
Maybe they are doing secret investigation. They may not be availing us with the results of their findings. Maybe the investigation is still ongoing. Maybe we should give them some time to like I said before, it's become a very big menace. It's terrible. Friends, people suddenly behaving somehow because they are always under the influence of some substance. As a growing up kid here in Lagos, I read somewhere where a child, a young man, he's I think late teens, around 19-year-old boy. This happened in America where he was hooked on drug, and there was this day he needed to go and get a fix, and he came home, asked the mother for money. The mother did not give him the money, and the next thing is that he picked up the knife and stabbed the mother to death. Went to the purse, took the money, go to get his fix, and came back home and was calling out on the mom to come and give him food.
After killing the mom?
Yeah, he did. He had
under the influence of alcohol, drugs.
Yeah, he had forgotten what he did. He didn't. He was not in himself when he did that, and that is the kind of effect these drugs can have on somebody. It makes one violent, unreasonable, emotionally unstable. So we need to continue to fight this menace. It's like a large chunk of our program today is being dedicated to talking about the menace of drugs. It's also part of what we need to do, to make sure that our society gets better.
No, but the reason why we're talking about drugs so much is also because the kind of seizures being made these days
from our ports.
Yes, from our ports. It's alarming.
Mind-boggling.
because before now, you don't hear them talk about. People didn't even have the. You talk about drugs. You talk about the international airport.
Yeah.
Yes, you talk about international airport for those who are traveling out.
And they swallow it.
And they
swallow
they swallow it, and then they have to give them something to be able to push it out. But now we're looking at it because we're asking, how is it being imported into the country? So it is that aspect of it that is disturbing. And like I said, the one they saw at PTML, Nigeria is not the final destination.
No.
It is
They were
those
about
kind
to
of
export it.
yes, it's those kind of drugs that they want to export, and they now use, human shield to move them. Then you see somebody swallowing 50 wraps, 100 wraps. So it's becoming a very serious and endemic problem that needs to be. The government needs to address it holistically, so that while we're talking about all the brouhaha that goes on with politics, we must also know that we have a family, we have children to look after, and you cannot look after a child in a drug infested environment. Because one day one of your children would want to try, because those guys are good at convincing you to try it.
Yeah.
They are like, it's like they are specially trained to do that, to be able to convince you. So that's why the fight against drug smuggling is not just the fight for Buba Marwa, it's a fight for all Nigerians, and all Nigerians should be able to, support.
A friend was telling me a couple of days ago about when we were younger. Somebody I knew from some decades back. When we were younger, what happened to him, and he didn't tell us then what happened. Now, it was in the midst of some guys, much older guys. We're talking about when we were teenagers here then, secondary school. And this guy, he was in the midst of seeing an older guy, much older. He was, puffing that thing, smoking and feeling fine, feeling
on top of the world.
Yes, and he too was admiring him, looking at him so longingly that he wants to puff on that thing. And one of our mates who knew the other older guy better said, "Boy, you are looking at that man like he should give you. That guy is a bad guy. You can't touch what he's smoking." But he himself, he didn't understand what the friend was telling him. When the guy left, he now went to beg the owner, "Let me have a puff, please, sir. Let me have a puff." And he went, and to him, the guy was just smoking cigarette. He collected it. The guy gave him, and he took a puff. The next moment, he didn't know how they were digging a soakaway around by the corner of the house. He didn't know how he wanted to, do the number one there, as in, he just, in slow motion, fell face down into the soakaway that was being dug, and he slept off there. And he now woke up around 2 in the night to know that, it so happened that the guy laced the cigarette with hard drugs. And he said that taught him a lesson about 2 things. Never take something from somebody when he is not.
I mean, that's
Secondly, the effect of drugs. And the guy had laced that cigarette with some substances. So, and that was the first and only time he tried it. Also, he almost gave up. He was a teenager then. So it's and I also have another experience where somebody, told me about what happened to him, how he also get to run away from some of these things because of his own personal experiences. We keep supporting the DG of NDLA to do more about fighting the menace of hard drugs. And the people at the ports, the CG, his command heads, the NDLEA, the sister agencies, they should continue to collaborate and cooperate in making sure that these things are kept away from our shores.
Okay. We talked about the death of the custom officer, Deputy Superintendent of Custom, Sadiq Tahir Muhammad.
Yep.
Apparently, he was killed during an attack at Maji in Bagudo, local government area of Kebbi State. This was on the 8th, on Sunday. The Customs Area Controller, Kebbi Command Controller Mahmoud Metawali Ibrahim, we here has visited the family and commiserated with them, so we keep asking. It brings us back to that question: what is the insurance? What kind of insurance do we have for our security personnel? Who are meant to put their lives on the line to protect the other citizens? Have they been treated fairly?
Come to think of it, is there any kind of insurance for military men?
That's a question we should be asking. That's a question we should be asking.
Yeah. I don't think so, because by the nature of what they do, they are supposed to be in places of danger at every given moment. So which insurance company will want to insure people who
so you're saying because
no, I'm just being curious.
Yeah, but when things begin to happen frequently the way it is happening, you must find a way to
mitigate.
Yes, you must find a way to protect.
Yes, the attacks on military or paramilitary officers is, to me, should be a no. But you also know that the security situation in the country is such that it's almost become the norm. I mean, like somebody said sometime, we are losing our sense of wonderment because of the amount and the capacity, the frequency and the amount of this violence that we are seeing. So we are becoming numb to it, the effect, losing our sense of wonderment.
So
it shouldn't be.
So we're saying that it's becoming like an everyday thing. So
yes,
if you're doing the wrong thing over and over and over, it suddenly becomes
part of And once they announce it,
there was some news that caught my attention. I didn't want to look into it, but since it's an open mic, I want to look into it. It's about the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris.
Okay.
Saying that the current government has neither harassed, shut down, nor silenced any media organization. He actually said this on Wednesday at the 2025 All Nigeria Editors Conference held at the State House, Abuja. Idris asserted that this is due to the administration's conscious commitment to constitutional principles of press freedom. So what's your take on that? Should we clap for the federal government that they have not shut down any TV or radio station? Don't forget, in Niger State, the governor shut down the radio station.
Okay. Is that not in Nigeria?
So
is that not a government?
Good. So if the federal refuses to do it and the state is doing it, then the federal should not take glory.
Of course not. To even start thinking along that line, it's not normal. It's now like saying that because you've not done a bad thing, you should be given some kind of credit. I mean, it's expected of you not to do bad things. It's expected of you to do good things. So it doesn't.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, my name is Dr. Bashir Andy, calling from a player in the industry.
Dr. Bashir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Permit me to appreciate your efforts. Honestly speaking, it's a very good initiative because it will, further, educate all the stakeholders particularly those who are ready to learn. I want to start. My first question, your guest last week asked a question on Utomi.
Yes.
Whether somebody has ever reported, on the issue of controlling him or her to pay. Fine. That one has not been addressed. Secondly, on the issue of container deposit, which you have discussed at the listening, they've been trying to get in touch across to you without luck until now.
Welcome.
The issue of container deposit is a serious issue.
We know.
Serious in the sense that first, we have to note as journalists and as maritime practitioners that not all the shipping companies are, asking for container deposit. Secondly, we need to investigate who is legitimately entitled to be given the container deposit. Is it the consignee or an agent? Thirdly, have we ever investigated from any shipping company or any of the complainants that you to voice out his or her feelings? Can that person give you a container number, then you go and investigate so that you find out the truth aspect? Sorry to say this. Why I'm saying this is to further make our program more valuable.
Okay.
Prior to you
hold on 1 second. I am a player in the industry, and I can authoritatively tell you that most of the shipping lines today, you must put down container deposit before you clear your container. I am telling you that authoritatively. I don't know.
Sir, I'm not saying you are not saying the truth.
Okay.
I said some of the shipping companies, we have started seeing a proliferation of some shipping companies that are not collecting container deposit. They will give you peace and trust if they know you.
Okay.
But the question I ask is that how wish all the shipping companies should dash out the containers out if the containers will be brought back. But who is entitled to be given back a container deposit?
Is it the
consignee or the freight forwarder?
No, but
who made the deposit.
The person who made the deposit.
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, is a notified party on a bill of lading supposed to bear a liability in case there is default by consignee? That's number two. Number three, please, you have down attention in terms of FOU checkpoints when we brought in the custom PRO
yes.
on board.
Yes.
When he talked about the post-auditing exercise.
Yes.
And he defended it. If you observe for the past 3 weeks, just asking questions on that, it has reduced. However, I'm of the opinion that at times when you are less busy on your own, take an investigative journalism aspect to some of the shipping companies, the agencies that they see, then you'll be surprised when you get the feedback. Honestly speaking. And then make it a point, whenever somebody calls to report, I have so, please, can you, even if it is an SMS, let's just have a number of that container, we'll investigate. Can you allow us to make it public?
Definitely.
And any person found involved, we'll tell the world. That will have been better, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate your effort. I want you to keep it up.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
a very good program, please.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
And how we to get more adverts so that this program will be listened,
Good people.
You are in the industry, so if you call me to come and take our advert, I'll gladly come to you.
No problem. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Honestly,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Somebody sent in a message. Do I read it?
Go ahead.
Yeah. It says,
go ahead.
good afternoon, VOP and the guest.
Hello, good afternoon.
Just hold on 1 second, yeah?
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Your name, where you come from. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Innocent.
Okay.
Happy Sunday. Please, I don't know if you can maybe give me the time to say what I want to say, but let me just make one open confession.
Okay, you have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I am on full carry of obedient movement. But as it stands now, I don't think I can continue without any regret. I think this man Utomi have won my. In fact, I've won my respect. So I think I'm following that man fully. That I believe I understand the game at hand right now. And if anybody could say that the weekend is the problem of PDP, that is far fatal lie. Because if someone has been given a platform as a ticket for good consecutive 4 times to 3 times, I believe it, if it's reasonable enough and just take man or want the good of the party, we shouldn't have a step aside from this reflection.
We're not talking politics.
This is not a politics.
This is Maritime and Border Show.
No, I'm not talking politics.
You are deviating.
Okay, sorry for that, but see my point here, the point I'm making now. If anybody or the decision to spell weekend is coming very late and dangerous for PDP at this 2027 election, because we can never allow that to happen. And if in the PDP now, maybe the attackers or maybe the working committee, if we did not have the majority,
you are deviating from the aim of this program. This is not politics. All right.
Okay, a listener sent in a message, says, "Good afternoon, VOP and the guests." There's no guest today. I'm happy for this topic of discussion because some years ago, according to United Nations report, Nigeria is not a consuming nation but a trafficking nation when it comes to cocaine, because it's an expensive stuff and they can't afford it. But today, go to a place like Uluwole, right opposite the Central Mosque in Lagos Island. You'll be shocked to discover that hard drugs that I can't mention their names, have destroyed many of our youths.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Chilaka.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Are you from Okafor?
You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
The issue of drugs has destroyed so many of our youth. And that is true. The last caller now, I don't know why he did what he did. It is an obedient movement I don't want. What concern the Nigerians? That's his own personal agenda. Let them not come to bring unnecessary issue where it is not supposed.
No problem.
It is not,
go ahead with your own discussion, sir.
Yeah, my view is that drug issue is an international issue. And because we are battling with it here, our kind of like a vertical attitude in all the things that we do for foreign government is what is responsible. The issue of making sure that things work well, that many level adults will find something doing.
You have 10 seconds.
Okay, my dear. And only minority will be, looking around to look at drugs as something that is beneficial. So if government can be so sincere in governing the people, the battle of drugs will reduce. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you. That happens to be our last caller for today. Can you finish that message?
Yeah, so he says, but today, go to a place like Uluwole, right opposite the Central Mosque in Lagos Island. You'll be shocked to discover what hard drugs that I can't mention their names have destroyed many of our youths. I'm pleading with the Buba Marwa-led NDLA not to direct all their efforts and power towards traffickers only, but more to the abuse of illicit drugs locally here. This is from Louis from Surrey.
All right, Louis, thank you. And I want to thank everyone that has called in, that sent messages to this program. Today we had an open mic, and the whole idea is to allow you, our listeners, the opportunity to, churn in on issues that are, are affecting you, affecting your business, and affecting the Nigerian economy. As we know, the Maritime and Border Show is a program where we talk about everything maritime, and we try to look at the steps being taken by government in ensuring that there is an ease of doing business. And also we look at other areas as well, like we talked about the container deposit. We'll follow it up we'll see how we can get somebody to come and throw more light on it.
Yeah, it's also a program meant for listeners such as your good selves to phone in and provide solutions to some of the problems you were having. Your ideas, your suggestions goes very far in shaping the direction of that the maritime sector goes in terms of the evolution of the sector, the efficient running of the sector, and of course the necessary revenue needed to continue with the running of the nation. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Of course, stay with us again next week when we shall come in on the Maritime and Border Show on 90.3 FM Voice of the People Radio. This is Dili Utomi.
Chilaka signing out. Have a